This episode is presented by Smirnoff. We do game days. Please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York.
Have you guys watched any Marcus Morris on First Take? He is now today saying that if Giannis and Damian Lillard lose in the first round, they should just go to Miami, both of them. And it's not the most interesting thing that he has said. Marcus Morris, see if you can find the bias in this, says that Jokic is not a top 20 player of all time.
Who? I'll run a Google.
See if you can find the bias in this. Why is Marcus Morris saying that Jokic is not a top 20 player of all time? Is it because Jokic ended his brother's career by pushing him?
Honestly, I wasn't sure which Morris it was, so I was just like one of the Morrises.
That happens a lot with the Morrises, I would say, generally speaking. It's their fault for both of them having the same tattoos. Like, it's not just that they're twins. They have the same tattoos. They're impossible to tell apart.
Didn't the Pouncey brothers do the same thing, like matching tattoos?
It's a great trick. I have asked the McCourtys this as well, and the Barbers. Like, they have done things to prank people because they are pretending one to be the other. Never as famously as Ozzy and Jose Canseco did it when Jose Canseco had a charity boxing match and his brother showed up and was able to reveal the fraud to all of us by having different tattoos than his brother did. And so otherwise they would have gotten away with it. They would have managed to fool everybody. Tony, when you say the Knicks are in trouble, is it because they're playing Detroit in the first round, or is it just more general than that?
It just feels like all year they've really struggled against the top teams, like you said. Like they're 0-10 against top teams between Cleveland, between Boston, and between Oklahoma City. The Pistons are surging at the right time. Cade Cunningham's playing amazing. Malik Beasley's probably front runner for Sixth Man of the Year. He's second in the NBA for made threes this season. Do you guys know who the first is for made threes this season?
Steph Curry.
No.
Oh, okay.
Mike, I know you're a ball watcher.
I don't know the answer to your
Anthony
question.
Edwards is the
Really? Isn't he taking like
leader.
9 a game?
Is the leader in 3-point field goals made this season with 320. Malik Beasley right after that at 319. But the Pistons are playing really well, Dan. It feels like the Knicks are a bit of a paper tiger when it comes to, offensively they're excellent. Karl Anthony Towns. Brunson hasn't been playing because he's been hurt. How much will that affect them going forward? Defensively, they're not good, and the Pistons are going to kind of run them into the muck.
I would say that I feel pretty confident saying this. Tell me if you agree or disagree based on just simply matchups, because I will say again, I like this Knicks team. I think it's more talented than the Knicks team that New York fell in love with last year. New York, does not love this Knicks team the way they loved last year's Knicks team. That's a Karl Anthony Towns thing. But I would like the Knicks against the number 4. I would like the Knicks against the number 5. But I think the number 6 has a set of ingredients to make this possible. We might get to laugh at the Knicks in the first round. Like, we're going to get set up to be able to laugh at the Knicks in the first round if this team that's more talented than last year's team underachieves and gets all those loud New Yorkers really mad, and they're all just going to blame Karl Anthony Towns.
After gassing up their expectations, them underperforming, under-delivering on that promise, it sounds like a barn you'd want to be in, but a hard ticket to get. Yeah. So that's quite the conundrum. What do you do? I don't know. What do you do? You download the Game Time app. That's what you do. You create an account and you use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Panoramic seat views. All-in pricing. Great ticket coverage. Game Time is what you need to be on to check and get yourself some big-time, meaningful playoff basketball tickets.
I would like to offer to the group here, whichever one it is that you want to talk about, because I imagine Roy has some preferences here. If I offer you, by way of playoff preview, if I say to you, would you like to talk about Nuggets Clippers? Because somebody who can win the championship is going to get knocked out in the first round. Would you like to talk about Lakers, Timberwolves?
Yes. Yeah, that was good, even though there was a question mark in there. You got it.
Or would you like to talk about Sharks, Wild, and what happens when 15 goals, 2 massive goals, superstar making an appearance?
Macklin Celebrini. I would love to talk about Macklin Celebrini. I think I saw a player in a game level up. He's a very young player. He was the number 1 overall draft pick. Last week, I was locked in on a great sports day all across, on the pitch, on the hardwood, on the ice, though. My mouth was left agape as Kaprizov and Celebrini and Eriksson Ek essentially went shot for shot. I saw in that game a player level up. And Macklin Celebrini would not surprise me in the least if next year he's a top 5 player in the league. I think he's damn near approaching it right now. He's on a bad team. They're going to have to level up the talent around him, but they have a good player in Will Smith to do that. This dude is a brilliant hockey player to watch. So I love watching greatness there. But turning my attention to the playoff matchups, I love the rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. It's been several years long. Remember, the Grizzlies surprisingly knocked them out of the play-in a couple of years ago. Ja Morant is deciding to apparently double down.
Triple down.
Quadruple down on this perceived villainy of his, and now he's just going to keep doing the hand gestures anyways. He did one in the direction of Steph Curry just last week. So to have that added juice to Grizzlies Warriors, given that now all of a sudden we're questioning the Warriors with these injuries popping up at the wrong time, that one to me has the most juice, certainly out of all the play-ins. I cannot wait to watch that game unfold.
Nuggets Clippers, though, Dan, like you said, one team could win the championship and one team is going home in the first round. Like, we saw the Clippers. We've seen the Clippers be one of the best teams in the league for the last, month of the season. Kawhi's been playing incredible. James Harden, for as much as we give James Harden, he's playing out of his mind right now. Like, he's NBA first-team level star, power right now. Yesterday in the game, hitting huge shots, facilitating. This is a team that could really, really make something happen. And I think the issue is more Lakers-Timberwolves, Dan. If you want to get into that, there's some issues there.
And Celebrini is obviously going to win the Calder Trophy this year for Rookie of the Year. But looking at the playoff matchups for the Western Conference, I mean, look at the wild card.
The Western Tell me about the Western Conference. I mean, Nuggets, Clippers in the first round. We got Lakers, Wolves.
We got to have stars.
Well, the wild card right now, you got the Wild in the first wild card spot and the Blues in the second wild card spot.
They put the Wild.
Yeah, they are they're separated by 1 point. And the Calgary Flames are still in it. They have 92 points. They're 2 points behind the Blues, so that's going to be a wild
Huberdeau might make the playoffs.
Yeah, he might.
Dude, the Blues and the Wild are nightmare wild card matchups to draw because the Blues are playing the way that they did to close out 2019. They are playing so well right now. You do not want to face them. And the Minnesota Wild are just all of a sudden really healthy at the right time. The NHL playoffs are going to be insane.
Speaking of Minnesota, too big for the Lakers. Lakers have a big size issue. Jackson Hayes is their only big, Dan. They've been playing a lot of medium-sized guys from 6'5", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", but they're going to have trouble with Rudy Gobert, with Naz Reid, with Julius Randle, with Anthony Edwards. There's a size situation there. I put it this way. If you give me the chance to have Luka, LeBron, and dare I say Austin Reeves as the third, who's been playing out of his mind. You give me that three, I'll take them pretty much against anybody. But the size difference is going to make an issue.
So you'll take them against anybody, but you
Almost
feel
anybody,
like they're going to get eliminated in the first round.
Maybe.
That's where we are.
That's precisely right.
Sports.
And one of the few regular season games I did get to watch some was Pacers-Bucks, in which Tyrese Halliburton had an unbelievable win probability defying 4-point sequence against them. And it's kind of under the radar, I guess, because the market that they play in. But as it was alluded
Pacers are fun.
As it was alluded to by Marcus Morris on First Take, this is kind of like a blueprint series for what Milwaukee's got going on with Doc Rivers and Damian Lillard. The Damian Lillard thing, I know they won the IST, but you kind of need proof of concept here. And if they bow out in the first round, he's right to seize on. This is roster-changing dynamics at play for Milwaukee if they fail to get out of the first round.
I really do enjoy the Pacers, just their style of play. I really
Said
like
no one ever.
Halliburton. No, I know that this is not something that's being talked about, but I saw the way they came back against Cleveland. They score like crazy. I want to play some sound for you here of Isaiah Thomas. I asked when this sound was brought to my attention, which Isaiah Thomas is this? And then I was told the old one, which didn't feel right. It felt disrespectful.
It was.
It doesn't feel like you could say the Hall of Famer. You could say the Piston. The old one.
You knew who I meant.
Yeah, but I just thought it was wildly disrespectful. And here he is being disrespectful and old about LeBron James' warm warming up shirtless on the sidelines, wearing do-rag? Question mark?
I just totally 100% object to this. And if I was the GM or coach,
Me too.
I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this. I mean, we are a professional NBA league. We ain't summer league. We ain't you know, at the YMCA.
Listen, I think coaches got to go back to suits.
I
just mean.
Absolutely. You know, I just think
College and pro.
I just think the professionalism in our NBA league has diminished so much. And I look, I like LeBron, I'm a fan of his, so forth and so on. But to walk out on the floor before a game with no shirt on and shoot, I mean, come on, man. Where we at? What we doing? Where we at? Now, if you want to, Adam Silver, if you want to find somebody, find that. Put a fine on that.
Roy, why are you making faces?
Old man. Just old, man. It was shoot around. It was before the game. There was nobody in the arena. What are we doing here? Why are we fining players for not having a shirt on? It's just old.
Man, if Dan Dockich had that same take, that would go over way worse.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single gray hair on that NBA TV
Yeah,
set.
there was a lot of dye on
and
that
I know
set.
some of those guys are longer in the tooth.
Yeah.
So you've got Steve Smith on that set.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what's going on with Jalen.
You've got Jalen Rose on that set. I don't know who that is between them.
He's
Who's
a host of some
Okay.
sort, it seems.
a host of some
Is that
sort.
is that the dude that Sam Mitchell gave away his home address to? Oh yeah. I think is that the dude?
It might be. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys know that Steve Smith. Maybe you don't know that Steve Smith's nickname. Do you guys know this? Any of you know this? I believe I have this right when I say, and there's no reason for you to know it. It's a terrible nickname. His nickname was Tricky, which just stinks as a nickname. But I'm pretty sure it was given to him by Miami Herald readers. I believe he gave out the right to his nickname. I think a contest produced it. I just can't help but watch that. I know you guys are going old on this, but when Isaiah Thomas is sitting here talking about professionalism and he's got a sexual harassment case in the resume when he was an executive, like on professionalism, one is shirtlessness while taking shots. The other one is even less professional.
GMs, you can't let your players go out on the court looking like that. I'm like, he looks pretty great. Yeah. He's 40 years old, put together. I'd be shirtless too all the time. I'd be shirtless during the game.
Well, Billy Gill says that in the flight back from the Super Bowl, that Njoku was on the plane shirtless. That Njoku goes everywhere. David Njoku, the former University of Miami guy and Cleveland Brown tight end, who is he's a statue. He's a Greek statue.
One of the best bodies I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he knows it,
program.
and evidently he's just always shirtless. You can't go. Look, you can be on the court shirtless before you can be on the airplane shirtless.
He was on the airplane shirtless. I know he's everywhere shirtless, but I think that the airplane, someone may tell him to put on a shirt.
We have the clip here of Sam Mitchell not happy with the co-host on NBA TV.
This is so good here. So they say this is a misunderstanding. They did another video after this one went viral in which they went to Sam Mitchell's home to just show you, hey, there's no awkwardness here. These people are friends, but this seems like awkwardness.
I'm surprised coaches get a paycheck for this show. You know, I think, like, maybe you should do this pro bono, my friend.
You know, last time I looked at my check, it's pretty close. So, hey, I'm taking donations. Why don't you come up off some of that money you got since you're over there bragging about it?
I'm not bragging about it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you rent your beach house out down in Florida during the hurricane? Or do I need to go on? How about your townhouse over in Buckhead?
Hey, what's going on here, Sam?
You want to call me out? I mean, come on.
I think
You screaming broke and hungry, let's just see it. You know, I know what you have and where you live, young fella, so you need to stop.
I think we have snitches on the show today.
No, we
His
don't have
name
snitches. We
is
have
Sam
truth tellers.
Mitchell.
We have truth tellers, so you're the one who crying poor and destitute up here when do I need to keep going on further, more and more? Or do you want me to stop right now?
Go to this game between
That's
the
what I
Sacramento
thought you should do.
Kings
I done
and
told
the
you, young
Golden
fella,
State Warriors.
you're going to stop messing with me on national TV. I done told you about that. Hey, do I need to give out the address? Because you're
That's former Coach of the Year. Former Coach of the Year, Sam Mitchell.
Stay out of other people's pockets, man.
He did not. That was awkward. Sam Mitchell, I will say this again, former Coach of the Year, Sam Mitchell, because he has been known for a long time to speak out of pocket and be okay saying to people's faces things that they might not want to hear.
NBA TV host getting a beach house too? What's going on over here?
It's going pretty well there over at NBA TV.
We don't even know his name. The guy's got a beach house in Florida.
That felt real, though, did it not? Because they went back. Rare is television quite that awkward. Didn't Steve Smith have something famous happen on the sidelines with somebody? You're going to have to help me here because there was an awkward moment between Steve Smith, who will fight
Not Stephen
anybody.
A. Smith. I know about that one.
No, not that one.
The one that has no choice but to consider running for president.
Oh,
Not Steve.
Yes, he says his pastor has told him to run for president.
I saw that.
You have left me with no choice but to consider this. It's incredible. Like you got a choice. No, I've got no choice but to consider running for the highest office in the land.
Which Steve Smith are you talking about?
The wide receiver.
Okay, because you mentioned him after a basketball topic, so
there's
I
Steve
went
Smith,
straight to
yeah.
NBA Steve Smith.
Yeah,
fair enough.
There's 3 different ones here, so glad you.
Well, that's what the A's for.
And that's what the seniors for as well.
Yeah, right.
Steve, that's what the Tricky's for.
Tricky Smith.
did he get this nickname while Run DMC was released that song?
Please, I asked you guys to look it up while I was talking. When you've got computer
that's
access, I asked you guys to look up how it is that he got the nickname Tricky because I was busy doing what I'm doing here. I don't know how to answer any of your questions regarding Steve Tricky Smith other than to say that as a nickname, Tricky is not dominant. Tricky is not excellent. Tricky is not enduring. It's somebody who can trick you because you're not expecting anything from them. Like it's just I'd like to know what the lost nicknames were, what finished in second and third place that Tricky was the one that the Miami Herald, if indeed I have this right.
I'm going to try to find out if the Miami Herald readers actually gave him the nickname. I asked artificial intelligence, why is he nicknamed Tricky? And apparently he had deceptive ball handling skills, and he had a signature move. Now, AI could be wrong. It's all wrong often. He had a signature move that people referred to as, that's the Steve Smith move.
I don't remember that. I don't remember a signature move from Steve Tricky Smith. Nor do I remember the details I need that we will soon find about Steve Smith, the wide receiver, as a broadcaster. This was last year, being on the sidelines.
Was it an interaction with Jerry Jeudy? I'm seeing something where he called him like a third-tier receiver. Okay,
yes.
we'll get
and then,
that.
And then there was the awkwardness of him doing that, and then there was the awkwardness of he and Jerry Jeudy getting into it on live television. So you will find that in a moment. But before we do that, can we just please, because I missed the useless sound montage, I want it to be in other sports. I want to point out again and again how many athletes and coaches just say things in order to say them because we need the sound bites to eat. But here, just give me what you can here in terms of a baseball useless sound montage, please.
Every time he walks up there, he's got that hitterish thing about him.
He showed that he's a competitor.
For me, I'm just looking to just get a good pitch to hit over the middle of the plate.
He's a good hitter. He's very smart. And he cares about his teammates. He does.
I love my bat.
Obviously, you never want to give up any runs.
We did a lot of good things right. We obviously didn't do some things right.
Got to tip your cap sometimes.
God bless and raise up. Don't let off the gas. Keep scoring until you get that final out, and we were able to do that tonight.
We don't give up until the last out's made.
I think what I liked best is we just found a way to win.
We're winning games, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It's just get that win.
We go out there to win every game.
I don't know. I think, I don't know. I just was, I don't know.
I have watched the Smitty in action. Steve Smith did a breakdown on NBA TV. By the way, all the old analysts were wearing their game jerseys
But
there.
pants also.
Yeah, they were. It was weird. Isaiah Thomas, who laments like how LeBron dresses, he was wearing business pants, but he was wearing his jersey with no sleeves. Everybody, a lot of upper arm skin. But the Smitty move, it concludes with him saying, "Now it's a bit of a carry."
Like all good moves.
Yeah,
Like all good
it
moves.
is tricky, but it only happens on the left side of the floor when you're up by the corner three. You travel, you carry the ball with you, you do a little skip, and then you power to the baseline, and you take it all the way to the cup with a slam dunk. But it is a very deceptive move, which plays into the nickname, Dan.
That Miami Herald contest had 852 entries.
Is that good?
It's a lot. That's a lot of possible nicknames.
It's not a lot. 852 is not a lot for someone to take on as their nickname. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Would you need more than 852 votes to accept those votes as your new nickname?
I think that's different than entries, though. I think 852 possible nicknames were submitted. As far as votes go, it's probably much greater than that.
Okay, so I misunderstood what it is that you were telling me.
It's tricky.
If I told you right now, hey, you're playing at the Y, or you're playing in order to become inclusive, the Jewish Community Center. You're playing in wherever it is that you play basketball. And the person that you're playing against, I want you to create a visual in your mind. I'm telling you that you're going to a place to play basketball against somebody. And this is all the information that you have on that player. His name is Smitty. He's got a move called the Smitty. And his nickname is Tricky. That person is 5'6", pudgy, and plays with a headband. In my mind.
Calls every foul. But also going to kick my ass.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be good, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
With a game that's tricky.
Yeah. I mean, how else would it be? If you're 5'6", you got to have some. You got to have some tricks up the sleeve.
Look, man. When John Morant calls Khalil Ware a pigeon, when Khalil Ware is on him because he's grateful that Bam is not on him, and I'm watching what happens there, where a 20-year-old of uncommon physical attributes can't guard John Morant because he too is of uncommon physical attributes. I can stop and remember my friend Jeff Miller, who was about half my size, and I could never block his shot. Anytime we were playing basketball, I'd get a hip. I'd get something would get in my way. I got it. Like I'm clearly going to block his shot. I'm much bigger than him, and he doesn't have an angle here, and he's not faster than me. And now I'm retrieving the ball out of the hoop again because I can never get it because he's a tricky Smitty.
That's the thing, Dan. When you're smaller in size, you use things to try and leverage your body to make sure you throw a chicken wing here, a hip there. All of a sudden, you're going for a layup, but then the elbow swings back. Oh, you get caught with an elbow, chicken wing to the back, right? And that's the thing. You can start playing a little bit tricky when you don't have the size or the speed.
We know ball back here, man.
Thank you.
It was pointed out to me that Amin and I pretty much nailed the Wizards season when it came to a win-loss total before the season and preseason's oddball special. Your boy knows ball.
Congratulations.
I'm a ball knower.
Can you guys play for me, please, a gas bag of the week? And I want to get to a behind the bit here in a second because we've gotten away from celebrating our 20-year anniversary. I did want to ask you guys, in celebration of what is possibly us getting thousands of people out to see the part of Greg Cody's body over his belly button that will be surgically either removed or altered so that we may gather as pilgrimage in order to see it on display in a glass case with lighting one day. I believe that to be the greatest achievement in our show's history. Do you guys have anything in the way of nominees, other nominees, that you think might but won't knock that off as the greatest achievement in our show's history?
Getting hundreds of people to see you in a Speedo.
We had the #1 album in America on iTunes briefly.
Excellent nominees, but lesser nominees than what it is that I'm talking about.
We've made David Sampson somewhat likable.
Have we?
No.
Yes. No, I think we have.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
by being more unlikable than him.
Stugotz wrote a book before you did.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Oh,
one.
that is a really good
But
one.
Stanzik wrote a book for Stugotz before you wrote a book.
Still a good one.
We're still around. which is a massive achievement, and not at all was in the cards for us when we started on an upstart radio station.
All of them good nominees. None of them as good as getting thousands of people to make a pilgrimage to see a toenail of an old guy, disgusting toenail of an old guy. Who's the gas bag of the week? Let's find out together. We'll probably know by sound, right? This is not an obscure gas bag of the week.
It's not obscure. It needs a little setup. Cody Bellinger, center fielder for the Yankees, I guess missed some games recently because of food poisoning. Had some bad chicken wings. This was not an acceptable excuse for one Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to bring up here in the beginning? Cody Bellinger got sick on some chicken wings. Cody eating them. Why would you have chicken wings from a hotel? That's the, make yourself a grilled cheese sandwich and call it a day. I mean, geez. I mean, he got sick on a grilled cheese, tomato, on some potato chips, on a glass of milk. That should carry you as far as that is concerned. We know about the draft, where we stand with that.
Just holding it against him, the chicken wings. Like, you need to have a turkey sandwich, chicken wings.
Gas bag of the week.
Can you tell me who's editing that there would be a stray sentence at the end of that where he's just teasing to the upcoming draft? Like, who's our editor on this that we can't stop that after grilled
Somebody
cheese?
amazing, by the way.
Grilled cheese sandwich that you
It's a transition. He's getting back into sports.
I understand.
I'd argue for the merits of that because it's radio.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I appreciate you guys arguing for the merits of that. We need better editing around here.
Editing.
If he gave time and temp, I'd want that too. Exactly. Even if it doesn't apply. Exactly. He's just a master of the craft.
Behind the bit is something that we have been doing to celebrate our 20-year anniversary around here. And in this case, and we talked about this last week, I don't know if you remember, Tony, your nemesis, Billy Gill, somehow magically beating the Freeze in Atlanta. The Freeze, a sprinter, or a former sprinter, I guess he's still a current sprinter, who is part of the shenanigans during Braves games. They run the entirety of the warning track. It's a hell of a long run. Billy tried to pace himself. This is a good strategy by going slower at the beginning, because the way the Freeze catches you is he doesn't slow down, you do. Like his speed never slows, because he's got the stamina for the entire warning track. You, of course, have never run the warning track. You're also afraid because that sounds fast, what's coming from behind, and you have taken inventory of how tired you are and how far that foul pole looks now that you're 40 yards away from it. Let's celebrate together Billy Gill somehow, magically. Our fastest guy, Billy Gill. He beat Chris Cody in a race. He beat Pablo Torre in a race. Yeah. He beat Amin in a race. Billy's our fastest guy because he also beat the Freeze.
This is Behind the Bit. This is Behind the Bit. This is Behind the Bit. A segment about when you used to like us, and I used to like me, and I used to like you. This is Racetrack's The Freeze.
Who is the Freeze?
The Freeze is a person that the Atlanta Braves will bring out. You get a chance to race against this person. If you beat the Freeze, I think you got like a $250 gift card for gas or something. He was kind of everywhere. You'd see videos of everybody falling, everybody racing the Freeze. And you get a little bit of a head start, and then what always happens is you get out to lead, the Freeze ultimately catches up to you, you're celebrating, you get cocky, and then you get beat and embarrassed by the Freeze. So we were headed up to Atlanta for the Super Bowl. We were trying to figure out different bits that we could do as a long shot. We're like, well, let's see if we can race the Freeze, thinking everyone would be doing this, but it was a football event, so no one except us was thinking of doing this. The best part about the Freeze that I remember was we had to call him Racetrack's The Freeze the entire time. This is Racetrack's The Freeze. Racetrack was a sponsor. It had to go through legal with the Braves. It had to go through legal with Racetrack because they owned the bit. So we had to continue to call him Racetrack's The Freeze every single time. I wasn't sure it was gonna happen. I went to my college and got a track uniform from them that was skin tight, which I gave them what I thought was the right size. But as you can see in the video, it was tighter than anticipated. It was also a very cold day. I didn't get the head start I was supposed to get. So I ask a lot of questions beforehand because I ran track. I was a pole vaulter, but I ran track, so I knew this is a long distance, and if I sprint the whole way, I'm gonna gas out. So what I did was, in casual conversation, walking up to it, I was asking like, so how much of a head start do I get? Where exactly does the freeze start running? So I was just like playing it up like I was just curious as to how exactly this went. What I was really doing was taking notes in my head because they told me more or less where it is on the field the freeze would start running. So my strategy was, I'm gonna get to that point as slow as possible. And then when I get to that point, I'm gonna take off. So I have an actual head start and we both actually start running at the same time. So even though he's a lot faster than me, hopefully I can last as long as he lasts in the running.
Do you feel you won?
Yeah, I won. I crossed the finish line first. I fell because had the finish line been 10 feet further, it would have been me and all the clips that you see of all the fans that run and trip and fall as the freeze is going and chasing them down. So I fell across the finish line, but I definitely won. In the video, there was also a shot of me hugging Blooper, the Braves mascot, which pains me because I do not like the Braves. And then I have the traumatic experience of one, falling at the finish line. It's like a fake, it's hard dirt. So I had like a raspberry on my hand the whole time. It was all cut up. I scraped my knee. I broke the pants that I was in from that innocent fall. I was feeling it forever. And then worse than all of that was the video of me hugging the Braves mascot Blooper because I do not like the Braves. I also think I should go out on top. I think that my racing days in terms of mascots and others should be done. I'm thinking of iconic mascots I want to race. Maybe the Fanatic, but I also don't like the Phillies, so I don't know that I'd be able to live with myself if we had like a nice moment together.
Did you guys have any reaction to the news that Paige Beckers had joined Unrivaled, the local basketball league that is 10 weeks long? Unrivaled, John Skipper, the CEO of Meadowlark, is one of the investors in that idea. Did you guys have any reaction to the reported details on Paige Beckers signing that deal? Because the details of that deal, as they were reported, was that she's going to get, for one 10-week period, she's signed a 3-year contract with Unrivaled, a made-for-television invention that is something that is happening around the schedule of the WNBA. 10 weeks that women have free, that they don't have to go to Russia anymore to make money. The reporting is that she will make more for those 10 weeks than she will make for the entire first 4 years of her initial contract in the NBA. That's how badly in the WNBA. That's the reason that Unrivaled has signed her, but they didn't give any of the actual numbers. Somebody reported it that way, that this is a league that is here, that is throwing around serious money, but they didn't give you the dollar amounts. They simply reported it as, this will be more money than she gets in her entire rookie contract.
Because they know, even at the highest end, what that would be in the WNBA because of the rookie wage scale there. That's pretty crazy.
The reporting was interesting to me. They didn't actually give the number, though. All of this was a marketing exercise in reporting where every story had that detail without giving me the amount of money. None of the stories had the amount of money that I saw. All of the stories had, this represents more than in 10 weeks, she will make more than she will in 4 years, which made me think that was something that Unrivaled was putting out there because it's a favorable thing for Unrivaled to have out there. Come down here, ladies. We have a whole We have a whole area of a city near the airport in Miami where we're just making televised basketball. We don't need fans to do it. It's all part of trying to grab the TV streaming dollars so that you could flip that league when you flip it for real dollars. And that's some real money being thrown around where you can edge out the WNBA on something and send out a press release that can say to everybody, look how poorly paid they are over there, and look at how well we're paying over here.
It's also much fewer players that you have to pay, given how the league is structured and all the operating costs.
It's 3-on-3.
Yeah, with all the operating costs that come with like having to have an expansive roster and all that comes with that in the
They've built a campus, though. They've instead of going to Russia and being Brittany Griner, they went to Hialeah.
You go to Medley.
Which
truck stops in Medley.
Yeah.
It's funny when we talk about it, though, because for us, it's like Medley. The only thing that's in Medley is literally like warehouses.
It's not Russia, but it's Miami's Russia.
It's close.
It ain't Russia, but it ain't where I'd put a basketball league. I'm confused by the airport that we've got essentially a campus. It's a campus, and it has all the amenities. It has childcare. It has the ability to it's basically the bubble. And you could leave the bubble. There's not, a pandemic going on, but you leave the bubble and there's not an area you want to be in because it's Medley.
Closest thing is Doral.
I mean, there ain't nothing close. There ain't no closest thing. There are airports flying out loudly nearby, but it is a strange place. Hey, where are the best women basketball players in the world? Medley. Is that right? I cannot explain to you in this part of Miami how strange it is to see a thriving epicenter for future basketball commerce over there near the Pollo Tropical.
Where do you find out where Messi's playing?
Near the Opelika Hialeah Flea Market.
Are we going to talk Masters?
Spliff Notes is sponsored by Jimmy John's. They're finally here, and they're hot. Try the new toasted sandwiches at Jimmy John's. Order one today.
Nice. Juju is sponsored now by Delicious Sandwiches. It's always nice to see Juju. It's always nice to hear from him, even when the critique is withering of what it is we have done that day. Juju, nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you guys as well, man. Good to see y'all. Salute to everybody in the building. You dig it? I'd like to start off by saying I'm 6'2", 220, so you can make that comparison to big old Trump. You dig it? The big dog.
So you're 6'2", 220. What's the percentage of body fat there, Juju? It can't be more than 9 or 10%.
I'm not sure that my scale don't be letting me know that. I'm in the ghetto, so
that's the advanced scale there that Dan's got. I don't got that one either. I think most people would not be prepared to answer that question.
I agree, but I would say that most people who have bodies that are as fit as Juju might be closer to being equipped to answer that question. Regardless, what do you have from today's show that you found interesting or bad as subject matter?
First of all, the Steve Smith conversation. Oh my goodness, you can't call yourself a ball knower and not know the Smitty. Famously, Michael Jordan did the Smitty around John Starks and Charles Oakley and dunked on Patrick Ewing, one of his best highlights. You feel me?
That's right.
That's the greatest
that is one of the greatest highlights that no one would call the Smitty or tricky. Like they would just be amazed by that as a highlight. But you're right.
That's great to point out, though. I remember that specific move, and I'm like, man, only Michael can do that. Meanwhile, it's patterned and named after Steve Smith.
Hell yeah. Also, welcome back to the play-in Jimmy Butler. He cannot avoid it, like, no matter what he does. Great game. Joker of the day real quick. Steve Kerr drawing up a play for your Buddy Hield with sixth place on the line. Like, chef's kiss. Unless they were trying to do the thing that they might be trying to do. Maybe they wanted to go to the play-in and avoid having to play certain Lakers and certain Doncic's in the first round. Try to squeak their way in and play those Houston Rockets in the first round. which isn't necessarily to be sneezed at either. But I don't know, bro. I think some ulterior motives could have been at play when you see Buddy Hield checking in the game for the game-winning shot.
Juju, we do have some breaking NBA news. Mike Budenholzer has been relieved of his duties down in Phoenix.
The writing was on the wall all year. Of course, they were one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year with that all-star cast. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, KD can't even make the playoffs. Like, it's not surprising, especially seeing whenever KD snatched his hand away from him in that one timeout. It's been a lot going on over there, so it's not as surprising as the other coaches being fired.
I do understand why it is that we might see some conspiracy in a Buddy Hield shot at the end, especially if any of you saw that video from last week of Steve Kerr talking to Buddy, saying, "Buddy, I love you, but you got the greatest shooter in the world over here. He's wide open. Pass him the ball." But when you think of conspiracy, I generally don't think of the Warriors trying hard all game long, really hard to stay exactly even with the Clippers, and then at the end saying, "You know what? Never mind. This last shot, I'm just going to make such a dumb decision that I make everyone think it's conspiracy because they don't understand why I made that decision."
Touche, Tache, touche. Because also Kawhi Leonard, people have been sleeping on Kawhi. He's been a sleeping giant lately. A healthy Kawhi spells trouble for the Joker in that first round. Also, Tony, my brother, I love you. You know you my brother. We share the same blood. And salute to Malik Beasley. But Peyton Pritchard, secret sauce, is definitely the sixth man of the year this year.
Close.
You got to know that.
Close. I mean, look, put it this way, would the Celtics be in the same position they were without Peyton Pritchard?
He's been so good, though. Pritchard shooting, I mean, is he shooting better than anybody in the league by percentage from three?
Close to it. Would the Pistons be the same without Malik Beasley?
You know what? I'm going to do a wager. I'm going to wager you. Malik Beasley wins. I will give you 2 miles on the track, videotaped it. If Peyton Pritchard wins, I need the same from you.
All right, done.
All right, the bet has been made. What is the bet for number of times that Stugotz tomorrow pronounces it McElroy? What's the over-under on number of times that Stugotz does that?
4.5.
Thank you. I
Over.
appreciate that, Stubot. What do we have for the polls? And before we get to the polls, surely you have some WNBA draft thoughts.
Oh, yes, sir. Man, look, Paige, of course, number one pick. I got kind of a mini stat of the day with Paige. She, breaking news, signed a 3-year deal with the Unrivaled League. You feel me?
Wait a minute. That can't be breaking news if I just mentioned it 6 minutes ago.
Start
That's a mini stat of the day. That's a mini stat of the day. All right, mini stat of the day.
Jeremy Taché also has pointed out you like to invoke Michael Jordan as someone else that famously did the Smitty. Jeremy texted me, how can you forget when Duncan Robinson did the Smitty to Victor Wembanyama? And that's another good one. I had forgotten.
Yes, it is. But yeah, Paige signed a 3-year deal with the Unrivaled League, which will be this is the crazy part. It will be in her first year, 10-game salary with the Unrivaled League will be more than her entire 4-year WNBA contract. That is banana clips, if you ask me. But salute to the WNBA, salute to Miss Kathy. They're going to get it together.
It is banana clips, but it's not breaking news because I said all of that 10 minutes ago.
Also sending prayers out to the family of Kyron Lacey, superstar from the NCAA football LSU Tigers this year. It's always just important to check on your friends, man. Even though they're going through a lot, just remember to check on your friends because I'm sure that family right now is having a rough couple of days, man. Salute.
This is awkward to do this to you as you hit a somber note, but
minor penalty, 2 minutes for not listening.
You can't come on and do breaking news, Paige Beckers, after we mentioned it 5 minutes earlier. So we're going to talk for 2 minutes here as Juju sits out. I would like for you to walk off the screen and pretend like you are going to a penalty box there in your house, and I'm going to simply more breaking news.
Oh wow, Dano, Mike Budenholzer fired.
I have here, I wanted to ask you guys this because it made me laugh this weekend. I just get a random email, okay, just sent to my account. And the context is it's just a listener who I've never heard from before, who is emailing me directly because he wants me to know something. He is telling me that there's something he wants me to know, and this is what he wanted me to know. Again, no context for it whatsoever. He writes, you don't talk about the sports record that will never be broken. In 1938, Johnny Vandermeer threw 2 consecutive no-hitters. In order to break that, someone would have to throw 3 in a row. Good luck with that. Ted Howe. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ted. Thank you for sharing that with me. That's probably. Do you guys have any record that's harder to break than that?
At best, someone can tie. At best,
someone would have to throw 3. Thanks, Ted.
Good luck with that. Thank you, Ted. And how would they do that?
Hey,
that's Ted Howe, ladies and gentlemen. Ted Howe. Welcome back, Juju. Let's update the polls here, sir.
Yes, sir. And while I get the polls, salute to the Savannah Bananas for making it to 60 minutes last night. Salute. Early hole Sunday Masters, good for a nap.
Great for a nap.
90% of the audience says yes, it is.
We got a big poll coming up here. I hope that he gives us an answer to Simpsons or South Park. That one's got to be. That one's going to get a lot of votes.
What a coinky doink. Simpsons or South Park? And this is from the Instagram story audience. 58% of the audience says The Simpsons over South Park.
I don't know. I think The Simpsons might be more popular, but I don't know if it's better. And that is no knock on The Simpsons.
Polls are the polls.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Are you done? Or no?
Oh, no. I said the polls are the polls, not those are the polls.
Okay, sorry.
Know. It's all good.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to do this to myself here. Hold on a second.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for not listening.
Damn it. I think that might have been more of an enunciation problem on my end because, I speak like I have marbles in the back of my mouth.
Tough penalty call for Dan there.
Right, very tough, but instant replay decided he was out of bounds. Did Rory try to Rory? 94% of the audience says yes, he did. If you win the Masters and Tiger wasn't in the field, did you actually win the Masters?
This is big.
56% of the audience says no, you did not win there. Wow. Damn. Do you use a key or a coin to scratch off your scratch offs? 82% of the audience says a coin.
Really?
Yeah. No one uses the fingernails. Roy, that was weird. I don't know what that was.
I'm in a pinch.
Do you scratch off your scratch off in the store you bought the scratch off from or at home? 78% of the audience says at home. Yeah, I'm with them. Right. You don't want no instant loss. That's very bad on you.
Plus, if I win if I won $1 million, I don't want everyone knowing. Like I want to be in secret if I win this $1 million.
Right. Also, earlier in the show, Dan said, what's the drawback from putting the germs in the card thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. I agree with Mike. You got to tap it, man, because if you put your card in there, you putting your card in there with every card that's been in there since the Tiger King, like just germs on germs. Last poll, is the cashier always old? That might be a Miami thing because here in the United States of Atlanta, we got teenagers everywhere.
Really?
But
to me, it's like teenagers or really old. Like you never see a 40-year-old cashier. Like, they're either like in their 20s, teens, or they're in their 60s.
Right. I can dig it. 54% of the audience says no, the cashier is not always old. And those are your polls.
Oh, we got something here.
The Phoenix Suns have fired Mike Budenholzer.
Come on, Jeff.
Oh, what are we doing? No.